Welcome to Downtown Sports. My name is Downtown Stephen Brown, and in today's video, guys, the Toronto Maple Leafs extended Mark Giordano for 2 years at $800,000 against the cap per season. In the most recent edition of 32 Thoughts, Elliot Friedman mentioned that Giordano would be willing to re-sign with the Maple Leafs for a lower number than what he was previously signed to. But the problem with that is that Giordano was making $6.75 million on his last contract. Okay, he's 38, turning 39 at the beginning of next season. How much lower is the number going to be? And in the previous video that we did here on the channel, taking a look at the Maple Leafs and their unrestricted free agents this summer, we pointed out that Ryan Suter signed a contract this past offseason at the age of 36 for 4 years and $3.65 million a year. Giordano being 2 years older, I don't know if he gets a 4-year deal if he hits the open market, but he probably finds a team willing to pay him a similar annual average value. So the fact that Giordano, who is still a top 4 defenseman in the NHL and a damn good one defensively to boot, just decided to take the full-on Jason Spezza hometown discount for 2 years and $800,000 per is awesome. When Giordano played for the Seattle Kraken last year, we saw his offensive numbers take a huge hit from what they were just the previous year with the Calgary Flames. But when he joined the Toronto Maple Leafs and watching him play, you could see that obviously he's not the same player than what he was when he won a Norris Trophy and put up 70-plus points in Calgary. Giordano may not have the same skating ability that he used to, where he can go from his own defensive end over the offensive blue line and create the play that way. But he doesn't have to on the Toronto Maple Leafs because they're one of the better teams in the NHL at dumping the puck in and recovering it. And for Giordano, who was really good at breaking the puck out of his own end with possession last year, if he can just gain center ice and dump it in, the Maple Leafs are going to be able to create offense that way. So he can still be an effective player on both sides of the puck in the Maple Leaf system. And you can see that in the advanced numbers as well. On evolvinghockey.com, in terms of the expected goals above replacement, you could see Giordano's numbers return to be similar to what they were with the Calgary Flames the year previous, playing with the Toronto Maple Leafs this year. And we saw that take shape last year in his time spent playing with the Maple Leafs, where he had 12 points in 20 games, which would put him on pace in a full 82-game season with them for close to 50 points. The Maple Leafs were a slightly better team offensively with Giordano on the ice compared to what they were without, but they were much better defensively with him on compared to where they weren't. And the biggest difference there is how much better they were right in front of their own net defensively, which was a problem for the Maple Leafs last season. Like we said, he's not the skater that he once was, but he's still able to be an effective defensive player through his positioning and his awareness. He's just on top of you before the puck even gets on your stick. And the main reason why the Maple Leafs acquired him last year was to cut down on the scoring opportunities that they were allowing on the rush. And Giordano is really good at holding his own blue line, but because he's so good at just recognizing the play, he also knows when to give it up to maintain the middle of the ice. And if he can keep you to the outside and give up the blue line, he doesn't care, because as long as you can't cut into the middle, you're not going to have that great of a scoring opportunity. The Maple Leafs were almost top 5 in every single advanced metric possible on the penalty kill last season. That includes the shot attempts, the shots against, the scoring chances against, the expected goals against, the high danger shot attempts against, every metric you want to look at. And on hockeyviz.com, you can see that with Mark Giordano on their penalty kill, it was even better than what it already was. And if we're looking at the 5-on-5 numbers for the Maple Leafs defensive pairings who spent the most amount of ice time playing together last year, Mark Giordano and Timothy Liljegren had awesome numbers together. Sheldon Keefe broke them up after Game 2 in the series against the Tampa Bay Lightning because they didn't have a hot start to that series, but he put Mark Giordano and Justin Holl together, who also played a decent amount of minutes together, and they were quite effective for the Maple Leafs in the remainder of that series. Whether it's with Timothy Liljegren or Justin Holl if he even comes back next year, or even TJ Brodie, because both of those guys played together when Giordano won the Norris Trophy a couple of years ago, he has chemistry with basically every single defender who plays the right side for the Leafs. And that's just a sign of a good player, right? No matter what happens throughout the course of the game or in between games, you don't have to worry about them. You can play them with whoever you need to, and they find a way to be effective. We showed this in the previous video talking about the Maple Leafs and their UFAs this summer, but there's only 18 defensemen to play games in the league who are over the age of 35. And Giordano being one of them. If you want to sort it going up to his age, because he's 38 right now, there's even less. There's like 4 or 5 of them, and only 2 or 3 are really any good at this point. And he was an effective player last season. I expect some regression, obviously, at his age, but he's still going to be an effective player. I mean, his role for the Maple Leafs after they acquired him, it changed a little bit. He went from playing 21 and a half minutes a night to just over 19 minutes a night. He's probably going to play on the third pair, but if he can be a mentor, like we were talking about earlier, to a guy like Timothy Liljegren, the same way that he was to Dougie Hamilton earlier on in his career, it's 800 grand, right? No matter if he's good or not, it's not going to really make an impact on their team. But I expect him to be good, but it could be immeasurable, the impact that he has if he's able to help Timothy Liljegren develop into a top four defenseman. It obviously wasn't at the same time, but I do have a bit of a personal connection with Giordano, having gone to the same high school as him. And in grade 10, his brother-in-law was even my careers teacher. And if you scored the highest mark on a test or an assignment, you would get a Mark Giordano signed bookmark. And I have one somewhere. I promise I did well in that class. It's just been 6 or 7 years since I've been out of high school. And that is wild to say out loud. But he would even come home in his summers and he would speak at our athletic banquets. He just seemed like one of the nicest guys. To have someone local grow up in the area, want to be here, and someone who could be a difference maker on the team, play top 4 minutes on the blue line, it makes it easier to cheer for this team, to follow this team, to cover this team, given what they've gone through the last number of years. And that's the way that Jason Spezza makes you feel. That's the way that Michael Bunting makes you feel. And there's other guys who are from the Toronto area that obviously play on the team, like Mitch Marner and John Tavares and TJ Brody and Wayne Simmons. And I apologize if I missed anyone else, but it makes it easier to cheer for the team, to follow the team, to cover the team, knowing that there's guys on it who care the same way that you do. That's not to say that the guys who aren't from the Toronto area don't care to win. It's just, it's different. But that's about it for the video, guys. I mean, there's not really much else I can say. It's an impressive hometown discount that's going to give the Leafs some breathing room to address other areas of need. And we'll talk about those areas of need in other videos. We'll touch on who I think should maybe be traded. We'll touch on Kyle Dubas, Sheldon Keefe, those touchier subjects another day. I know people are still upset, really disappointed with the team, and rightfully so. I'm never going to tell you how to feel when it comes to the Leafs because we all deal with that differently. But I don't know. When I saw the news today, it's a good thing. It's something to feel happy about because he's an awesome player still, and he's going to help them next season. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. We will touch on those other things. I had a video about the goaltending plan for today, but we'll touch on that maybe throughout the week. Leave me a like on the video. You want to see that video a lot sooner, I'll post it sooner. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Make sure to like it if you did like it. Subscribe for more because more is always on the way. And guys, I'll see you in the next one.